Helljjin Combat is the sophomore full-length album from Basque country and German death thrash metal band Sijjin. Basically, this band showed up after Necros Christos had kind of said farewell with their triple album some years ago, and it was Malte Garrick teaming up with his former drummer Ivan Hernandez and guitarist Ikaitz Garmendia, all of whom who had strong interest in classic thrash metal and ancient death metal. And the idea is that this is 80s style death metal extended into the future. It is arcane, ancient, old sounding, and aggressive stuff. And they've never done anything wrong by my measure, and this album is no different. So just right up front, if you liked Sumerian Promises back in 2021 as much as I did, I probably like this album even more. So let's just let's cut to a song, listen to a bit of it, and see what's a little bit different about this one.
Throne of light, dark streets. Bringing my beer.
So the strong influence from classic California thrash metal, whether it's LA or the Bay Area, shows up on this record just as it kind of did on the previous one. We still get 80s speed metal influenced death metal, such as the Abominations of Desolation, Seven Churches side of death metal at its infancy and the original idea. And so what they've brought here is a record that is really leading back to speed metal and early thrash metal, however you'd make that distinction, and developing that into death metal under their own hand and telling their own stories with it. So this record, up front in plain language, this one sounds a little bit less, just more like early Morbid Angel, and now has their own touch to it, which is a variety of interests in classic underground thrash metal, as well as the classics themselves, such as start from Slayer, Death, Morbid Angel, Nocturnus, and whatnot. But also we get German thrash metal in here too. So if you're a fan of Death Row and Sodom and groups like that, all of that is feeding into what this record is, which is really primeval death metal in its 80s standpoint. The big deal and the reason why I'm stoked on this record is that it's, we get death metal records that are riffs front to back. We get unique riff languages from a lot of modern bands, usually tending towards dissonance and those kind of ideas. We rarely get something that feels new and has a serious authorship to it in the realm of thrash metal riffing. We get some from Chile here and there. I think I say in the review, Norway is obviously quite good at that with there's too many bands I could name, like Inculter and Sovereign and whatnot. But with Sijjin, we get something that is different. It's definitely not allergic to something a little bit more technical, but also swinging. It's got the old school, the newer, and the newer in there too. We get something that is authentic in every case on this record. And I think what's amazing about this record and their previous one is that they've not only recorded it live, which is not that uncommon of a process, but they've done a lot of their work in just one take. They get their best take out and they do it live, and I think that's not only is that a point to flex on, but it makes what they've actually done here in terms of composition even more incredible, because being able to perform with this precision on these 6-minute thrash metal songs is not something everyone can do. It's something that I want to see live, and that's kind of what adds to the hype for me, is I want to see this band live, because this is pretty amazing what they're doing on record with 3 folks. If you're as much of a fan of thrash metal and death thrash metal, and you kind of know your 80s death and thrash metal, you'll understand why this band is something to kind of geek over too. For me, it's not just about references. They are authoring their own work, as I'd said. There is something kind of celebratory about a record like this, where it finds that deeper evil thrash metal angle, but it does it in a way that is more refined than you've probably heard before, and one that never cuts to bullshit. They get to a great point with every song here, and they're all very well fleshed out. So it's a serious record. It's a fantastic death thrash metal record, and easily one of the best records of the year for me. Can't recommend it enough. Go ahead and check that out yourself. It releases tomorrow on April 25th, and go ahead and read my review for a lot more details and many more thoughts on where they were coming from and how great this result is.
5 blades. Find the door in your mind. Leave the outer world behind. Eternal darkness.